Now, the BCGEU strike is now in its fifth week. We have spoken to restaurateurs, to liquor distributors, cannabis retailers about the impact on them. Well, now some post-secondary students are feeling the effects as well. They say the Student Aid BC website is not accessible and payments aren't going through. So joining us in studio right now is one of those students. Tori Minty is a Simon Fraser University student, and she is the Education Student Association Counselor Representative. Tori, hi there. Good afternoon to you.
Hi there, Gloria. Thanks for having me on.
So can you explain your role here? I mean, what does it mean to be Education Student Association Counselor Representative?
Yeah, it's quite a mouthful, isn't it? Yeah, so I, as the president of the Education Student Association, as well as the counselor representing those constituents, I am part of SFSS as the representative for my constituents in order to help guide the executive team at the SFSS, to advocate for students, as well as to provide services and resources. So I'm kind of like the people the executives answer to. Yeah.
Okay, and you're also the probably the person everybody comes to when they're saying, what's going on? So what have you been hearing from fellow students about the impact of the strike?
So I have heard a lot of things. It started, honestly, with the Student Aid BC. A student came to me saying, hey, I can't access anything on the website and my tuition isn't paid for yet. As soon as the strike happened, the BCGU strike, of course, affects the Student Aid BC, which is where a lot of undergraduate students get their funding from that helps pay for our tuition. And so now with the website down, we cannot access our records, we cannot access any of the student funding, we cannot upload any of our paperwork that they ask for. So it's kind of a big standstill. What's going to happen?
Okay, and is that causing an issue for some students? I mean, not being able to access, okay, but I mean, you would imagine that the university has got to understand if you can't get in there for the funding,
yes,
you can't pay your tuition because it's kind of stuck in that, it's just behind the wall.
It's in limbo. Yeah, it really is.
What kind of, have you got some cooperation then from the university?
Well, just yesterday I had a meeting with the VP University of SFSS, who's hoping to start in a conversation with the university about these problems. But there really are a lot of problems, Gloria. Without the funding, almost all services that we have access to as a student through the university is kind of in eternal limbo. The most important thing, obviously, is the funding. We can't pay our tuition, and that affects a lot of what we can do. The deadline has passed for tuition as well as payment plan options.
But does that mean they won't accept you in class, or you're just not in the system, or what does that really mean?
We are already enrolled in our current classes. We're still going, but now we have a lot of anxiety because that affects, we incur a 2% interest penalty fee per month. So we're hoping that the university will be willing to negotiate with us if that can be
waived or something,
because this is no one's fault, right? Mm-hmm. But also, and I would say arguably more importantly, any access to services for next semester is cut off. So for myself, for example, I have one more class left to go before I graduate. I'm so excited. And I need to enroll in it for the spring semester. And I believe enrollment period this year is mid-November. But I won't be able to enroll in anything until my tuition is paid. If you have any outstanding fees with the university, you cannot enroll in any services. You cannot access your transcripts. You know, there's kind of, you're stuck.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many students do you think are stuck like this?
I would imagine a lot of students wait until the beginning of semester to submit their requests for student funding as they, go through job insecurity, family issues, a lot of insecurity, and so if you were lucky enough to submit before the semester started, a few students have gotten their funding through and are scot-free. But me, along with many other students, have no idea when our tuition is going to be either approved and or sent to the university.
I see. Now, when you're talking about funding and student aid, is it strictly tuition, or are there other supports that are available and people need to, for example, pay rent or buy food or supplies, that type of thing?
Of course, yeah. The student funding goes towards tuition and as well as our any livable wages that we would supplement it with, right? Okay. I personally just moved back in with my parents because I cannot be living by myself in Vancouver right now. It is very, very expensive with rising costs of living.
Okay, so what would you like to see happen now?
Ideally, I would hope the government comes back to the bargaining table. I don't think it's wrong that workers are asking for livable wages, especially in such a tumultuous time. And I really hope this labor action does not drag on too long. I mean, last year we had, what was it? The TSSU strike, was it last year or the year before, that affected the classes at SFU. And so to have another labor action affecting our student services is kind of getting to be a little bit...
Well, it's
a little bit tough.
It's a rocky time for a lot of reasons. I mean, how would you describe the overall education system? How's it doing right now?
I think you can ask anyone, educators or students. I think we're all exhausted. We're really tired. For undergraduate students, I think there is a lot of uncertainty and anxiety right now about rising cost of tuition, about uncertain program availability, class sizes. Of course, and it all comes down to money, right? There's not enough money being filtered into our undergraduate programs, despite the ongoing consistent tuition prices being raised at SFU and other universities. And
not as much income coming in from international students any longer.
No. And I mean, poor international students that are still here sticking it out, they pay over 3 times the cost of local students, and still there's a lot of uncertainty in the services that they and us can access. There's limited health and mental health supports, and it just seems to keep. There's always something each semester.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm really glad you're able to come in today. So once this is all settled, and we're hoping that's going to be sooner rather than later.
Yes,
once you finish your
later.
final course, you get your degree, what do you want to do?
I have been wanting to be a teacher, an elementary school teacher, for the longest time, for as long as I can remember. And it's something I'm gunning towards at full speed. I'm very excited to get in the classroom and start giving back to the community that I love so much.
Tori, I hope you get there. I hope you get there soon.
I know I will.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Gloria.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
That's Tori Minty, Education Student Association Counselor Representative at Simon Fraser University. And if you can relate to what Tori's telling us today, if you're a student trying to access funds, trying to get information online, you can't get in there because of the strike, let us know on the coast at cbc.ca. On the coast at cbc.ca.